Hey everybody, welcome to another Tuesday night here on Northwoods TCG. No, we missed one last week, but hey, we were in Collecticon just coming back from that, so hopefully you guys have had a fantastic 2 weeks. It's been about 2 weeks since we've been on here. Well, it's again, great trip. We're going to go over a little bit of a recap, just kind of talk about my experiences on there. And then we will be going to Chicago. We do have that coming up on October 12th and 13th, so we will be in Chicago as well. A little bit more fun, a little bit closer to home. Don't have to drive as far. But in general, a lot of fun. Overall, I got to meet some of the people that I've talked to for years on the platform and actually got to meet them in person. I figured out what's going up with that. So, anyways, we got to meet these people in person. People that I have never met before. A lot of individuals that I thought and had discussions with. Got to stop in Kentucky on the way there and meet Mason from Cardinal Gaming, another individual. Mason's out there and live. Thank you so much once again. Fantastic to actually meet you in person. Get a little sit-down talk in person rather than just on the computer. So it was a lot of fun to have that opportunity to do so. You know, Jake from Pokenomics, another individual that I've had several conversations with. Dan at Catch'em Collectibles, once again. Ray at Shining TCG. Overall, fantastic time in general. Got to meet a lot of individuals, a lot of sit down, a lot of talking. Definitely had some fun at the trade night too, sitting down with different individuals and talking about the hobby. Not just purchasing things, I did purchase some things too. I basically went just with the intention of looking for things for my collection and for myself. So I wasn't really in it for purchasing for, investment, for my business or anything like that. Realistically, it was a networking trip for me and also just picking up some of those collection pieces that I've been wanting to get, such as Trainer Gallery cards that I was missing. Great opportunity to maybe work with some people on that. And definitely a lot of fun that way. So real quick on the thing. Hi, iFOMO. Once again, thank you for being here. As always, greatly appreciate it. Pika, always glad to see you in the chat. As always, glad to see you here bright and early for the live. Usually you're coming in the last 15 minutes. So it's glad to see you here at the beginning. Hopefully you can hang out a little bit with us. But yeah, like I said, just going over Collecticon. Great individuals. Overall, Collecticon looked great. Lots of people still there. Lots of things moving. Things were selling really well from what I could see. Overall, the boots looked like they were moving really well. The people I had talked to, individuals that I had talked to, had been doing extremely well. Also, they said sales were doing really good. And, some people were saying it was slower. People were like, first day especially, we're doing a lot of the just sitting around and watching. And, just kind of saying, I'll be back to buy this later. I think some people were doing some more price shopping. Unlike normally, it was, just impulse buying. I think there's getting to be a little bit more in the market from what I could tell a lot of the times. Is that I'm seeing even on my end and even in my other business, we're seeing people that are no longer doing just the impulse. I want it, just do it, get it done. We're starting to get people that are shopping around a little bit harder for the stuff that they want. So if they're looking for those collection pieces, if they're looking for, specific things, they are going to start shopping around and taking a little bit more time to do so and really find those items. And I think that's going to continue to happen as we continue to move forward and continue to move into this hobby. Once again, I see a few more people in there. Of course, I want to say thank you to Mason. Once again, thank you for having me at the shop, letting me have time to spend with you a little bit. Didn't have a ton of time. I mean, we were on the road trying to make some mileage to get to Jonesboro, Tennessee, but it was a great time just to sit down and actually meet you in person, Mason. Once again, greatly appreciated to have you have a little bit of a talk. Lots of fun, and like I said, hopefully we can get you on a live here soon again, too. I would love to sit down. I know time schedule is just crazy right now, and trying and do that between myself and you and everything else. It's just kind of crazy right now, but we'll get things settled down and get that going for sure. And yes, Mason, we will have more time in Chicago. I will be there in Chicago for sure. So that's going to be a lot of fun as well. Hopefully we can spend some time, especially in the evenings there between and possibly a day before if you're going to be there a day before. Definitely have some fun talking then and get a little bit more time to spend. Like I said, it was a flyby. So we were on our way out to Jonesboro, Tennessee with kids that have about a 8 to 10 hour drive span. So I've got to get that fixed. That's driving me crazy. But anyways, yeah, we had a little bit of short time, but it was absolutely awesome to do that, and definitely a lot of fun. So thank you, Mason. Catch you in Chicago for sure, and hopefully we can get you on a live beforehand where we can sit down and talk Pokemon. It's been a little bit for us, so it'd be nice to get caught up on that for sure. Hey, Greg, how you doing? Andy, you should hit up Cardboard Casket in Medicine Hat, Alberta. They have everything sealed from XY to presents. Some of the best pricing I've ever seen. Yeah, that might be a little bit of a drive for me. Medicine Hat, Alberta. So, yeah, if I had a reason to go up that direction, I definitely wouldn't have a problem doing so. It's been a few years since since before COVID, since I've been to Canada, so it'll be a little bit of a trip on that end for sure. So, but no, going down to Collecticon. Hey, son of a merc. Sorry, I forgot you. I saw you. Thank you so much for joining in, son of a merc, for sure. A phone call away. All right, well, I'll get a hold of you because I'd be kind of curious to see what you got. Definitely interested in adding some collection pieces and things like that too in the XY era. So I'll definitely get a hold of you, Craig. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, it was a family trip. Like I said, we left, the whole family went down. We stopped at my grandma's, my kid's great-grandma there for 2 days. It was nice getting that, and then went to Collecticon for 2 days, and then went and visited my sister for 2 days before we came home. So my kids got to be in about 7 different states, so they were really excited to get the different states along the way. A good family trip. Overall, though, sales-wise, when it came down to Collecticon, and my feeling is, and talking to people, there's a lot more of the less impulse buy, more I'm going to go shop around. And being there and actually looking for specific things, like me with trainer gallery cards, there was definitely the opportunity to find them at one place. And if you felt they were a little bit high, you could go look around, and then usually someone else had them maybe a little bit cheaper, or that person was cheapest, and you went back to that person. Evolving Skies, we were talking about that the evening after the first, on Saturday night when we were sitting around talking and having dinner and things. We were actually discussing that as well with Larry and Hoot Hoot and all those. We were sitting at the table talking, and Ray from Shining. And the one thing that we did notice is like Evolving Skies is the perfect example. Something we were talking about, and you see on TCG Player, there's pretty close to a set price on Evolving Skies of like $700 roughly, give or take. I haven't looked in the last 2 weeks, but I know we were at Collecticon, and the prices varied everywhere from like $900 all the way down to $625, $600. So I mean, you could have really price shopped that particular item very easily inside of Collecticon. Trainer gallery cards, another very common one that was really good to price match. Another one was the Charizard from Paldean Fates, another one. TCG Player right now between 100 and 120. You could find it anywhere there from like 80 all the way up to 150. So there was variation. Impulse buying is, when you have money and you don't really care, you just impulse buy because you don't want to sit there and hunt. But if you were there to hunt, there was definitely the opportunity to do so from what I had seen. And I did hear that from a couple of the vendors along the way too. When it came down to Collecticon, as a lot of them were saying, people were going, well, if this is still here tomorrow, I'll come back and get it, or I'm going to go look around and then I'll be back and buy this later. So there was a lot of that going around when it came down to the actual Collecticon, which is, I know from experience in like pre-COVID, like back in 2018 when I went to a few of them, and even in Denver in 2018 when I lived there, it was kind of one of those things that, you bought what you found. You didn't really have the opportunity to go price shop. So Collecticon from 2018 to today is a huge difference, even for myself. I mean, to see that post-COVID, it's the first one I've been to since COVID, so it was a lot of fun to get out and see it. But yeah, big difference. A lot more people, a lot more things. It was more TCG based than when I was originally in Denver. Maybe it was just Denver. I don't know. I haven't been to Denver since 2018, but Denver back then was very much sports cards driven. It was very much basketball, baseball, a lot of the sports card stuff. Some TCG, some of the smaller, a lot sparser when it came down to TCG. Now it seems like it's almost flipped. At North Carolina, it was mainly TCG from what I can see. There was sports cards, don't get me wrong. It just seemed like it was shifting more to the TCG end comparatively to what it used to be. Chicago might be completely different because that is home of the sports cards area. So that might be another sports card driven one. So it'll be really interesting to see how that one will perform compared to North Carolina. So I'm kind of getting some data points too. Like I said, really good trip overall. Loved it. Collecticon, a lot of fun. Definitely, if it's in your area or if you feel like driving to one, it's definitely worth it just to, number one, network with people that you want to meet and have a discussion with. I met PK there as well. Had a short little chat because we were kind of at the end when I caught him because they were busy on the booth, and I was trying not to disturb people when they were busy and doing things. He didn't come to the dinner Saturday night. I caught him before the dinner because he was leaving on before Sunday, but yeah, it's hard sometimes to network. It was nice to have that time afterwards during the trade show and then also dinner, spending some time with some of the people networking. Great opportunity for people if you do want to, but I would highly suggest that you try not to disturb too much, because even like Dan and Jake and everybody and Rusty and all them, they were really busy talking to customers and trying to sell and work with customers, and definitely didn't want to interfere with that as much either. Just wanted to make sure that they can do their business and keep their business going as normal. But there's definitely opportunities throughout the day and in the evenings to definitely catch up and do those kind of things. So Collecticon, a lot of fun. Be kind of curious to see how Chicago is going to be in comparison to North Carolina. Be really interesting to see how overall it compares. I'm really excited to see Chicago now. Seeing two of them in two different locations and seeing how they operate will be very interesting when it comes down to it, and I'm really excited for that. So that's kind of my recap on Collecticon. Like I said, a lot of driving for me, but it was worth it. Definitely got to see some family that I haven't seen in quite a while, and then of course had the events on Collecticon, so that was a lot of fun as well to get caught up with some people that I've been talking to online for a long time, and actually sit down and talk to them in person was awesome. And it just felt like, you know, you talk to someone forever online and you do things with these people for years, and you like, you know, Jake and Dan and I all kind of said, you know, we feel like we know each other even though we've never met in person, just because of the fact that we have done, you know, lives with each other, discussions with each other, you know, all these different things. And it's just kind of fun. Even Mason, you know, went and met Mason at a shop, and definitely felt, you know, like I had known Mason for quite a while, even though we had never met in person. So really fun. A lot of opportunities there too for anybody that wants to come. If it's close by to you, would definitely highly recommend coming to them. It's definitely worth the trip. It's definitely worth the ticket price to get into it, because there's a lot to offer inside of there, and you see some really interesting and different things that maybe you didn't even know were out there. There were some products and boots that had, I want to say, very, very specific TCG products, even sealed products from, you know, different sets that you haven't seen in a long time, or are very difficult to find. You actually have those opportunities to see that. And my son was really excited because they had a Lego booth, so he got a bunch of his Lego figurines that he was looking for his little diorama that he's been working on, so he was really excited about that as well. So yeah, lots of stuff to do, lots of fun for the kids as well. Kids enjoyed it. I know my youngest kid was pretty well burnt up by the end of the day, but he definitely enjoyed it and up until that point, and he wants to go back. He's excited for Chicago. So really a lot of fun, and I'm excited to continue continuing visiting these particular events. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Going into now the CT scanning stuff. Now, I did a video while I was on the road. I tried to keep up with some videos, so I talked about CT scanning. And I know we talked about the cost of it and how cost prohibitive it was in that video. If you did watch that video, if not, I will link it down. I don't have it linked right now, but I will link that into the video here. So if you are watching this later, you can catch that down below. And we talked about the price point of doing these particular packs. And now, of course, they added a new service, which is now an imaging service for $15 per pack. Now, a lot of people got up in arms, even, you know, talking about how now it's become affordable. To me, it's still not. I mean, realistically, you know, if you're talking $15 per pack, and if you actually look at what you get for that particular service, you are only getting, for those who are unable to use the viewing software, receive images of potential hits from our scan data. So what this is, and a lot of people were saying that this is the imaging. This is not the imaging, sir. This is not the actual scanning. And I want to be clear on this, because I saw some confusion that this $15 number came up, and they instantly thought that it was $15 per pack. No, you got to pay the $75 first. If you do a volume discount, let's say it goes down to $60. You got to pay $60 if you do a bulk number of these. The $15 is just to see what that scanning gives you. So instead of you having to sit there and dissect that data and use the viewer and keep scrolling through all of the images to find what you're looking for, they are going to send you the images of what's inside that booster box or inside of that pack. So basically, for $15 extra, they're going to give you a picture of the Charizard inside of the base set pack, or they're going to give you a picture of the Moonbreon inside of the Evolving Skies pack. You're just not, they're just dissecting that, so you don't have to buy the software or download the software, or if you don't know how to use the software to read the images, they're giving you that ability to do that without the imaging software. So that's another factor that I forgot about, and I didn't even think about it, and I have not asked about it, but I don't think that that's free either. Usually the imaging softwares have a fee as well. Plus the user has to pay a yearly subscription to that software as well. I do know that for using the piece of equipment, you are going to have that cost. So once again, I talked to a friend. If you watch the video again, I talked to a friend that was looking at CT scanners. He does CT scanning for a living. That's his part of inspection and machining that we did back when I was a machinist in Colorado. And he said, like he said, it's not impossible to have a machine for under $10,000. He said, just don't be 100% clear. It is possible to have a machine for under $10,000. It is realistic. It is something that could happen. More and more I talked to him since then too, since I did that video. Like he said, it's probably been being done for years. Let's be 100% honest. For very expensive and those high rarity packs and things like that, it's probably been being done by people in the like he said, kind of like the dark web. There's a dark web of everything, and someone in the dark side has been doing this for a long period of time. It's something that's not new. And it's probably something in circles that's been there for a long period of time, especially for those really expensive and proprietary packs that you really can't find very many of. And the packs are very expensive unopened, and the packs are, what's inside the packs can really justify whether or not you want to open those or not. And he said it's probably been being done for years, and I absolutely believe that. I think that's been kind of discussed now for quite a while, is that this has probably been being done for a long period of time for those very expensive packs. Now, once again, is it something that I'm personally concerned about right now with like Chilling Reign or any of the modern sets, even anything going back almost to black and white? Am I really concerned with CT scanning being an issue? No, once again, if you are concerned that this is going to be an issue, you're probably looking too deep into it, and there's probably more concerns that you should be looking at in the weighing side of things, some of the things that are free to do, rather than necessarily being so much afraid of the CT scanning. Cost prohibitive still, $75, $60, $50, even $25 a pack. To me, is just not a realistic price for any modern pack. Even Evolving Skies. I mean, you look at the hit rate of a Moonbryon. If you have to scan 1,000 packs at $25 a piece, are you really going to pay $25,000 to find one Moonbryon inside of 1,000 packs? I mean, realistically, is that a true means, unless you're really lucky and catch it on the first or second pack, or even a Moonbryon case? If you don't catch it in the first, so 10, I'm just doing quick math in my head. You literally have to catch it in about the first 50 packs. If you could catch it in the first 50 packs, you're going to break even. Now, is breaking even a good idea when it comes down to CT scanning? Probably not. It's really not worth it, unless you can get that 10 off of it, and then you make a little extra off it. There's always these things, but overall, my feelings is that it's just not there. It's something to be keeping an eye on. Make sure that you're watching it. Make sure that it's not something that's going to continue to be growing in the background and seeing more pricing. I mean, if you start seeing it for like $3, $4, $5, $8 a pack on modern, then maybe I would be getting a little bit more concerned. But realistically, it's not cost prohibitive unless you're talking about something that's very expensive pack to begin with. A $20, even a $30 pack of evolutions. Is it really worth scanning that to try and see the Charizard inside of there? Not really. There's just not enough value inside of that Charizard to be doing that thing. So even some of the expensive packs, the chase card inside of there still does not make sense to do it. So overall, definitely something to be aware of. Definitely something that I like my friend said, and other videos have said now too, as when it comes down to CT scanning, it's probably been being done for years. Just in the backside of things, it's probably been being done in sports cards for a long period of time, especially on some of those really expensive packs versus very expensive cards that can come out of those packs where you can justify looking through them. I think that that's been happening, but it's realistically not something that I'm too concerned of in Pokemon. If you're into the first edition base set packs and you're hoping to find a Charizard, or that you're holding a Charizard on those packs, I'd probably be more concerned about those, just because of the price of the booster pack by itself can be very, very cost prohibitive, and make it reasonable to do the scanning even at $75 a pack. If you're talking about a $1,500 to $2,500 pack, and I don't remember first edition packs, I'm just putting a number out there. It's probably more than that. They fluctuate so much depending on auction. But realistically, if you're going to pay $75 to see if you got a Charizard in that pack, or leave the pack unopened if it doesn't, then once again, that's what you're going to do. That's the way that you're going to continue to do things, and it makes sense at that point. So pretty much the only thing that I can see that actually makes sense to do it on would be like your base set first edition packs. And that market is already so small, and the people in there probably have been aware of this for a long period of time. And just so I have the right numbers, I'm going to look up what a base set first edition booster pack, just so it's correct in the video here, so you can hear it on here correctly at this point in time, what a first edition base set booster pack is going for, a sealed one. So just to make sure I got the right one, so a heavy pack is right now, buy it now or best offer for $4,400. So, but you can weigh those packs as well, narrow it down to a bunch of hollows. But if you want to know if those hollows and those heavy packs is a Charizard or not, then you could really do that CT scanning to do that. Weighing packs is something that, you know, I remember back in 2020 that this was the same controversy we had with weighing packs. Let's be 100% honest. Everybody was up in arms about people weighing packs and that this is unacceptable. We shouldn't be weighing packs. And as time moves on, people just get over it and realize they're weighing packs. It just is what it is. If you're buying vintage packs, you're either going to buy heavy packs or you're going to buy light packs. Everybody's weighing them. Everybody's checking them anymore. If they tell you they're unweighed, the only way that I'm going to believe from anybody that they're unweighed is if they open that booster box in front of me. If I'm buying Team Rocket First Edition unweighed, they are cutting that box open in front of me, and I'm being the first one to pull out of that box with it being opened. That's the only way that I'm going to believe that those packs are unweighed. Otherwise, if it's a pack, even at Collecticon, you see packs sitting all over the table of Team Rocket, First Edition, whatever, chances are, is even if they say unweighed, they've been weighed. The chances are just there. It's more than likely that they've been weighed because, let's be honest, number one, curiosity kills the cat, and people just can't leave things alone and go, it's unweighed, or number two, people just are trying to get max dollar, and they can find that medium ground by saying it's unweighed versus a weighed pack where they can charge maybe a little bit more. If it's light and they say it's unweighed, they can stay in that middle ground, and that's exactly what they're doing at that point, is just trying to get best dollar pricing for a light pack. And let's be honest, if you want a truly unweighed pack, the only way you're doing it is getting it booster box fresh, where someone cuts it out, opens the cellophane, pulls it out of the box in front of you, and hands it to you and says, this is unweighed. And that's probably the only way that I'm going to believe it. And even then, I'm hesitant because there have been enough resealed boxes out there that the whole box could be light for all I know. And there's no way for me to absolutely know that for sure either. So overall, just craziness, and I feel that it's just something that's right now, everybody in this hobby right now, in my opinion, is getting bored. And they are clinging to things to try and make emphasis, to make something pop, to make something stand out. Is it as big of a problem as they're making it sound? No, it is not, in Pokemon especially. I would be more scared in sports cards than anything in the Pokemon hobby when it comes down to CT scanning. Is it going to be something that could futuristically be a problem? Maybe. But once again, you should be aware of it. It's something that's good for awareness, but I don't feel it's going to be something that's going to be an overall issue futuristically, or at least in the near future. Probably in my time in Pokemon, it's probably not going to be a problem unless we get another really big super boom in the Pokemon TCG where some of these more modern boxes and prices explode again. It's really probably not going to be an issue that we're going to be seeing in my tenure in the Pokemon TCG. So I keep it in the back of my mind. I know it's there. If I do start going into vintage packs, some of those more expensive packs like Crystal Guardians, some Neo, like Neo Destiny, Neo Revelations, things like that, those may be packs that I'd be concerned of this happening just because they can have the Lugia hit inside of there. You can have some of the Crystal Charizard and things like that have a premium that are very expensive, especially in PSA form. But in general, most of the sets, especially from like black and white on, just there's not enough value in the actual raw cards. Even the graded cards in PSA 10 don't have enough value in it to justify CT scanning that many packs. So if you could weigh out some of those packs, get it down to a narrow field where you wanted to know what's inside of it, then yes. Scanning, Eric, I just saw you put up there scanning of booster boxes. Once again, I even talked about that in the video. You look at my Evolving Skies up here. I have opened 10 booster boxes of Evolving Skies myself since it's come out. I have not pulled a Moonbrigade. So you're telling me I would have scanned those 10 booster boxes and not gotten a Moonbryon? They're charging $75 a pack, even at bulk 65 or $60 a pack. What are they charging you for a booster box? They're probably going to figure at best case 18 packs, because they're going to cut through 18 packs, and the machine, 18 packs is still way over the price of a Moonbryon. Even if you get them at a discount at 50%, I mean, you're still talking $600 to scan that box. The numbers just don't work. You just can't. If that Moonbryon were to cruise up to a $10,000 card, maybe the value would be there. Maybe then the opportunity would be there. But once again, you're still limited to the number of booster boxes you can scan. And even so, at $6,000, let's say $600, you got to hit that Moonbryon in 10 scans. I mean, realistically, 10 to 15 scans, you got to hit it. If you miss, then you're already gotten rid of all the profit. The profit's gone. So, yeah, I understand that's what people point to. ETBs, people point out. I don't even know what the cost of these things are, because if you go onto the website right now, and I can pull up, and I got it up here because I had it for the chat, they have right on here, box scanning, so scanning your booster boxes, quote required, case scanning, so they'll take a whole case of my Evolving Skies and scan it apparently. But what are they going to charge me to do that? I mean, and then there's not a guarantee that there is a Moonbryon in that case. There isn't. 1 in 1,200 means it's like 1 in 3 cases that Moonbryon is in. So you might have to scan 3 cases in order to find one of them with a Moonbryon. Are you going to send 1 case at a time and hope you hit that Moonbryon? It's just, to me, it's not something to worry. And if someone's got that much money to try and do that, all the more power to them. It's not going to be widespread through the hobby. It's not going to be something that everybody's doing. It's not going to be any of those things. It's going to be a very select niche of people that are going to do it. Even like that scanner for under $10,000, like he said, it's not going to give. It's going to be more of a crapshoot on that scanner. He looked at the scanner that guy was working on and built. He 100% agreed that it will work. He said, don't think that it won't work. But you're going to run into a situation where the clarity may not be there on all the cards. It may not pick up anything without texture. So if you're talking about older packs, it may not see that texture as easy, because realistically, the texture is giving you some depth to be able to see. While the holo, you got to cut right at the right point, where that Nikon, industrial, let me give you. So this is Industrial Inspection and Consulting LLC. They're using the Nikon. The Nikon is like the high performance. That's what we use for doing like aerospace parts. So they were really, really, really cutting through and going really, 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 really small slices through those particular packs. Yes, it does it quick. Yes, it gives you a very clear image. But the scanner, he was talking, and I sent my buddy the video of that out there in Colorado, and he looked at the video and he said it can do it. Don't get me wrong. And he said don't think it can't, but it's not going to be as easy as that Nikon is going to be. That Nikon's going to do it every time. He'll find, even inside of a part or anything, he can find a microfracture in a part of aluminum and steel. He said, don't get me wrong, it will find it it will find those cards inside that pack. If it's got foil in it, he's going to find it inside that pack. He guarantees that. The other one, the one that's under $10,000, the guy's rebuilt. He may find it, he may not. If you know it's in the pack, if you got a heavy jungle pack and you're looking for it, you probably could find it. But if you don't know if it's heavy or light, or if it's in a booster box form, he said you may not be able to find that. You may be just searching for a needle in a haystack at that point, because the slicing isn't quite close enough or tight enough to catch all the detail. You're not going to catch all the details in those cards unless you hit it dead on through that holo. And then he said you might have to do multiple scans through that booster box and readjust your start point to catch the different scans at the slices. So the slices are always, what do you say, in multiples of 4. So you can do, 4 slices per inch, it's like slices per millimeter or what, centimeter, something like that. He's very technical, and he told me how it works, and half of it went over my head because I'm not an inspection guy. I am a machinist. I set up machines. I cut machines. I use calipers. And he used the high-tech CT CNC machines and all that stuff to do this. That was his thing. That's what he did. It was like cuts per millimeter or something. And so it's like 4 cuts per millimeter. And it's always in multiples of 4, he said. So like his machine is doing like 200 and some cuts per millimeter. So when he's cutting through a piece of steel to check it, he's doing like over 200 cuts through that piece of material in order to catch those fractures. And he said, that's where you got to look at the machine, is what its capability is. Most of that machine that he was looking at, he said, is probably at best doing maybe 20 to 24 cuts or slices. So you're not getting as many slices through there, which means you got to hit it just right to do it. And that was his analysis of that machine and how it works. So like he said, it's possible. 100% possible. Is it going to be as easy as like industrial doing this? Absolutely not. Industrial is a guarantee. They're going to hit something if it's in that pack, because they're not going to miss with the detail and the contrast that they're doing and the number of cuts that they're doing across inside the certain... I wish I remember it was millimeters, centimeters, whatever it was. He said they're going to cut through it at a greater detail. When you're looking at an animal or something like that, his point is this: when you're looking at like a bone or something, you're looking for a break, or if you're looking for internal bleeding or checking organs, you don't necessarily need to do super fine detail to see that, right? Because it's pooling blood, or it's a broken bone and it's fractured down. You know, it's not going to be a microfracture. If the x-ray ain't catching it, then the CT scanner isn't going to catch it either, typically, unless it's something, you know, really internal with an organ or something that they're specifically looking at. But then again, like you said, most organs are the size of your fist or bigger, depending on where they are in your body and what they're looking at. So it's just all in the detailing. And that's the biggest thing that he wanted to talk about is that, and he wanted to make 100% clear when I was talking to him, is every machine has capabilities. It's just like our CNC machines. There's machines that have a 6,000 RPM spindle, and there are machines that have 125,000 RPM spindle, and their capabilities are completely different. It's like saying that you're going to drive a Ford Pinto against a NASCAR and you're going to win this thing in a race. No, not realistically. You're not going to do it. Could it get lucky and the NASCAR could blow an engine? Yeah, absolutely it could, and you're going to go by and win. But that does not mean that it's going to be the norm. So that's the bigger factor when it comes down to it. Yes, $10,000 machines are out there. Yes, it could potentially catch these things, and yes, it's actually something that you could be concerned about if more and more people get these machines out there. But once again, is it something that I'm concerned about? No. For what I'm doing in modern, it still doesn't make sense for the products that I'm really working in. The things that I'm collecting currently, it's just not something I'm worried about. Even on the vintage stuff, if I want something, I will buy the card rather than the packs. I mean, I would love to have a full base set, first edition pack set, but if I'm buying the pack set, I don't care what pack cards are in them anyways. I just want the pack set. So if they're scanned, and I'll probably buy lights anyways, because all I want is the artwork. Same with the Team Rocket. You know, I've got Team Rocket set. I want the first edition set. So I want to go back and eventually get the first edition artworks of each one of the pack arts. I don't care what's in it. I'll buy light packs. Why not? Why pay the extra money for a heavy pack that's just going to sit on the shelf sealed? It doesn't matter to me. I'll just know it's light, and I really don't care. So, once again, that's my rant. I actually went really long for a rant today. So, let's see, Eric. Modern product is not a thing of concern. Vintage product, possibly, but regardless, is still risky buy nowadays. It is. And vintage is always risky to buy. It has been for years. Ever since people, and I don't even know where mine is. Somewhere on the shelf. Oh no, it's in my bag. I brought it to CollectCon in case I bought a pack and was, yeah. Anyways, even I carry a scale with me. I'm not a big weighing person. Usually it sits on the shelf back here in case I'm going to someplace that I'm going to be buying vintage packs. But, you know, I do carry a scale even myself. You have to. You have to have a scale to try and mitigate some of that risk. Is it going to fix the risk? No, not necessarily. But vintage has been a risky proposition for a long period of time. I think that most people in this hobby that have been doing this long enough, we all know and we all have learned that we just accept that risk. If you accept the risk and you know that there is that risk, then in general, you're going to just be fine. And you're going to accept whatever you get out of it. If you are buying a heavy pack and you get it home and you weigh it and it's light, you knew the risk. You knew you should have had a scale with you, or at least seen a scale in order to be able to verify that before you bought it if they were claiming it's heavy. If they claim it's unweighed, you're going to know in the back of your head that an unweighed pack has probably been weighed. You're never going to absolutely know that and take it as face value for anything in the vintage market, because even unweighed, it's probably been weighed. Unless, like I said before, unless I see them cut it out of a booster box, that's probably the best chance that I'm going to have the most the best feeling that that's actually unweighed, is if they cut it out of a brand new booster box in front of me. If it's on a table inside of one of the lock cases or anything like that, I'm already thinking that that's weighed. I don't care if they say unweighed on them. I'm under the impression that that's weighed, and the chances are is that that's probably a light pack, and they probably are selling it as unweighed because it came up light, and they're trying to make a few bucks extra on that pack over what the lightweight pack would go for. So that's just my feelings. I accept that risk. If I'm going to buy that product and I'm working with that, I know the risk, and I've accepted that. I think that that's a better thing that you could probably get through the people, rather than putting in scare factors and talking about CT scanners screwing the industry, talking about all these things and trying to find these scam parts of this. Stop looking at it as a scam and start looking at it as a way to inform people of risk, so that people can do informed risk assessment of what they're purchasing. I think that that's a lot better way to go in this hobby, and I think that would create better stability in this hobby, is if we can learn to stop turning everything into a scam, stop turning everything into the boogeyman under the bed, and start turning it into risk assessment, so that anybody out there today can do better risk assessment to purchase things smart and understand what they're purchasing and what the potentials are of that purchase. If you can do that and actually get people to get that thought process, it would really change this hobby for the better. And I think a lot more people would feel a lot more comfortable in here and less concerned about weighed packs of, CT scan packs now. It would be less of that fear and more of the understanding, knowing that this is what I'm taking for a risk. Do I accept that risk? Is this price point good for that risk? And if not, don't do it. Simple, right? If you understand the risks and you move forward and you continue to think that, then you could definitely go forward with that as well, and then move forward. And if you don't get what you're looking for, or you feel that has been altered or, scanned or weighed, you knew the risk. You knew what was going to happen, and you knew the potentials of that risk. And that's the better way to go through with it, and that's a better way to move forward when it comes down to your assessment in the Pokemon TCG, in any kind of, even Yu-Gi-Oh, in Magic, even in sports cards. I think if you can get into the better realm of risk assessment, rather than being worried about making everything into the boogeyman scam. And that's the bigger factors overall. All right. So we made it through my rant, which actually went really long. So see that there's a couple questions here, because I saw Son of a Merc on here had a question, and he said, were you going for anything specific or just looking for deals? I was really going for Trainer Gallery cards, because I was trying to finish up my Galarian Gallery for myself. So I was kind of going for my own personal collection. I really wasn't going to deals. My mindset was going to Collecticon. Probably finding deals is not going to be the thing at that point. That's really not the place to go to find deals. I was looking more for just those collection pieces where, sometimes I can trade for that. So like the trade night, I was trading some cards on trade night. So I had some extra Trainer Gallery cards, and I was trading for other ones that I needed, trying to kind of fill in my sets. Now I've completely finished Brilliant Stars. I found the one that I was missing out of Brilliant Stars, and I was really looking at the other ones. Crown Zenith was another one. I was trying to get a lot of those filled in. So my ultimate goal is to just finish all the Trainer Gallery sets. So at this point, I'll probably go through Chicago, and whatever's missing after Chicago, I will probably just go finally bite the bullet and just buy them off TCG Player just to finish them off. I think I'm missing probably a total of 20 cards right now between all the Trainer Galleries. So yeah, hopefully by Chicago I can whittle that down a little bit more and then just fill it in. But no, wasn't really looking for deals. That wasn't my game, was to go for deals there, because I know that if someone's paying that much or being at a booth like that, that is high volume, high traffic, high everything. They're not really looking at deals. They're looking at making the maximum money for their dollar, for their trip, for the booth, for the food, for the hotel rooms. All that stuff is on the vendors that are there. They're going to try and capitalize on that as much as possible. I 100% honestly understand that. That's what I would do if I was in those booths. So no, wasn't looking for a deal. Was just looking for stuff to kind of fill in my gaps and support like local, not local, but YouTubers and people that I have worked with before too. Just trying to buy off of some of them to try and fill in those gaps. Let's see. Did I miss anybody when I said hello? Like I said, hi Eric. Thank you for joining once again. Great points as we were talking here. Some America. Gym Leader Pepe. Thank you so much for dropping in too. And Phantom X Mods. Thank you so much for stopping in here. Phantom X just said I spent 100K scanning all my Metazoo for the Hodag foils. Well, there you go, bud. So how many did you find? I'm curious. You spent $100,000. How much did you find? How many did you find in those packs? Number one. And number two, if you did, how much is that Hodag coming from, and did it get you back the value we're looking for? That's the real question I have. So let me know, Phantom X Mods, if you're still out there. I'm kind of curious to know if you actually did. If you spent $100,000, how many did you find, and did you make back your money? That's the real question. Exactly. And like you said, I just buy the vintage cards I want, and if I'm just collecting vintage or sealed vintage, wow, I can't read, products, not concerned about it. Exactly. And that's once again, that's that risk assessment. You're making the risk assessment that if I want a Charizard, first edition Charizard, I'm going to have to buy a first edition Charizard. I'm not going to buy first edition base set packs with the hopes of hitting its first edition Charizard. That's just not what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go buy the Charizard. And the same thing, Blastoise, Venusaur, any of them. I mean, it's just that risk assessment. I've already made that risk assessment that if I want those first edition or those vintage cards, I'm better off just buying the vintage cards. I'm better off just spending the money on the vintage card that I know I'm getting and can see it and see the quality and the condition and go through all of it, rather than buying a sealed products in hope of pulling that particular card, because me pulling it is already very, very slim to begin with, and then you got all this stuff with weighing, scanning, everything else going on. It's just better to buy the card. I made that risk assessment. I understand that risk assessment. If I want packs, I'm going to buy sealed packs, and I'm going to buy light. That's just what I'm going to do. I know that that's what I'm going to do, and I've accepted both of those risks, and I know exactly what I'm getting for those purchases. Let's see. Pika Pika, so just happened to glance at my phone. Awesome, Pika Pika. I'm always glad to have you in the chat. Glad to see you here this evening. Once again, greatly appreciate to have some of you guys in here. Craig, I will get a hold of you because I'll see what you got there. And if you got a website, let me know too, because maybe I'm always quicker to do it on my phone on a website rather than calling, but or messaging. I can do messaging. I'm good at that. Let's see. Any other questions I see here? Like my packs done for years. Scanning a booster box. Hit that like. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much, iPhone, for pushing that. Old Magic. Yep, is safe for now. Yeah. The problem is that, like he said, he doesn't know if... So, talking to him, I don't know if you'd be able to see... So, he wasn't clear, and he didn't think you could. He said it would really... The only thing that he could think of is, like, on his Nikon, he might be able to see, like, ink density. But even that would be a crapshoot. So just talk about that a little bit more on the old Magic cards. Unless it has foil in it, it's really, really difficult to get into that. So, you know, yeah, I think you're right. I think the old cards without any metal in them are definitely going to be more difficult to find than anything. We just got in here, green user. What do we got here? I saw someone had a video on a 151 reprint, but didn't watch it. Any news on that? I have not gotten anything from the distributors yet. Well, let me log in quick, because typically I get an email with reprints and stuff on Sundays, and I did not get anything. Maybe Mason's heard something, but I have not. I know we still don't have any booster boxes to speak of. They're pretty much gone. Let me see. Ooh, boy, you got to spell gains. All right, let's go into here. So let's see. New releases. We got some EX battle boxes coming. We got a new Battle Academy. Let's see. I'm just looking. Do I have any booster boxes available? I don't think I even have any booster boxes available right now. Oh, I can get Temporal Forces booster boxes and Paradox Rift. Just looking to see if they got any 151 stuff. I don't have any news on any 151 reprint. So right now, I don't think so. Scarlet and Violet booster boxes and Obsidian Flame booster boxes. They now in stock. I don't know how much. I'd have to see. So right now, I don't have access to them. If they're coming, I don't have any information on it. I have not gotten any information from the wholesale or from the distributors or anything like that. So I'm looking through now. The problem is, though, is that I've heard that from some other places, and every time I hear that, I kind of go and run to my distributors' websites real quick. And let's be 100% honest, too. Me doing that, I should probably start calling my buddy at the distributor just to see, because I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm kind of low man on a totem pole, so I might not be getting those emails. So I'm looking right now in my one distributor to see if there's anything on here. So Q4 Pokeballs are up now. Trainer toolkits are on special order. Tapu Koko Iron Leaves. We've had the Charizard EXs, the Super Premium Collection. Oh, let's see. 151. Let me just see if I narrow it down. I'm just looking for you guys to see what I got coming here. And let's see. We got Alakazam. I'm looking to see if there's anything in stock. Order due, no. They got nothing in stock for them. So I don't know what they were saying. I mean, unless Eli is getting something that I just looked through both of mine right now. And I don't have any emails from them. So ACD, I don't have anything through them. Southern Hobby, I don't have anything through them. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything. If they've got news, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see here. I saw someone had a video on the 151 reprint, but didn't watch it. Any news on it? I heard 151 bundles as well. Fingers crossed. I could have been a joke. I should go watch the video. Rumors for sure. Pokemart said something about it on his live with Nostalgianomics. That's the video. It was just bundles with having to buy other stuff as well. I sold most of my 151 in hopes of buying a few of those. Yeah, booster box bricks, booster bundle bricks. We shall see. The one product I think that they would reprint right now would be the booster bundles. That's just my feelings on it, because they sell so well and so quick, and the price goes right back up on them. Like they don't ever sit. And if they came available through my distributor, I would be 100%. So let me check one more thing, see what he's talking about here, because I don't know who his distributors are either. I don't know if he uses Southern Hobby and ACD. Those are the two I have access to, but I don't know who his distributors are, because he's on the West Coast, so he's in Arizona and all that. So I'm not 100% sure who he's using, because there are more distributors than those two. And you're right, because sometimes what happens with those products, a lot of times too, is like Eli might have been saying in there, is that he might have access to them, but sometimes they'll make you buy like three cases of Scarlet and Violet base set booster boxes because they can't move. They got something that's highly liquid. Okay, you buy, I'm just hypothetically, you got to buy 4 cases of Scarlet and Violet, or you got to buy 2 cases of Scarlet and Violet, you got to buy 2 cases of, 2 cases of Obsidian Flame, and you got to buy 2 cases of ETBs of, Paldea Evolved and Obsidian Flame. If you do that, we'll give you 1 brick of the 151 booster bundles that we found in the back corner that we forgot to distribute. So that's some of the things that they will do. Yes, that's what he was saying, like Paradox with it, and yeah, exactly. So they're selling you dead product, and they might have found a case, or they held a pallet. Sometimes they will. I've noticed that from distributors. Sometimes I'll get an email from even Southern Hobby. We like the Alakazam EX. I got a case of those, but I had to buy, what the heck was? Oh, I had to buy a case of Obsidian Flame. So if I wanted the 151 Alakazam EX boxes, I had to buy a case of Obsidian Flame booster boxes. So, which is fine. I just put them into my investment for long term. But I think that might be the situation that he's running into. You got to buy this dead product that isn't moving. We found, this product or we held this product on a pallet. Now we're trying to use it as a way to get that going. So, yeah, they'll sell jank bundle. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Jank bundles to try and get you to move dead product. That's what they'll do. So I remember him telling a story of jank bundles, but the dead product actually turned out to be bangers later on. Love when it happens. And that's exactly what may happen. Even like the Obsidian Flame. I think that's a fun set. I think overall, for what I paid for the booster boxes, I could probably still flip them right now, and break even on them. So realistically, they just move slow through distributor, but they do sell at, because I got them for $92 a booster box. What's Obsidian Flame going for? I don't, getting to be too much. I can't keep up with everything that's going on. So, Obsidian Flames booster box, what do we got right now for a price? So, $115. So, I could break even with those. So, once again, Obsidian Flame I could sell for $92, with the shipping and everything. I could break even on them, which is alright. I mean, I can work with that. So, that I just haven't sold them yet. But, yeah, I mean, once again, I bought a case of Obsidian Flame booster boxes from Southern Hobby in order to get an Alakazam EX, a case of Alakazam EX boxes. The EX boxes sold fast, and they sold really well. I doubled down on those, made some good money on those because they were selling really hot. And the Obsidian Flames, right now, I just have them on the shelf because I figure futuristically it'll still be a decent product. So if I were to take them, it was $92. With TCG fees and shipping, I mean, I would make $5. Right now, if I sold them on TCG Player, I'd make $5 a box. So if I wanted to sell them at $110 just to get rid of them, $110 would be break even. I'd make nothing on them, but at least it'd get out of here, and I'd recoup my money. And I made money on the Alakazam EX boxes. So sometimes that's the trade-off we got to make, to get decent products or get these products that we're looking for. And even so, the Alakazam EX boxes were actually not as cheap as they should have been. I'll just be 100% honest. They should have been probably about $3 or $4 cheaper per box than what they sold them to me. So that's the other thing you got to watch too, is they high performance items, they will jack the price on them. So even those booster bundles, they should be selling them to you roughly around $17. If you're buying them from distributor, they're roughly $17 on release. They'll sell them to you now at like $21. So even so, they'll sell them to you at $21. The market will fall, or $25 sometimes. They'll make big money on them. The market will fall because they'll flood the market with the stupid things, and then you can't sell them and make money on them. So for a little bit. So yeah, there's always that catch. There's always a consequence to every action, no matter what you do, and it's a lot of calculated risk when it comes down to it, and how you're going to mitigate that risk. Once again, risk assessment, understanding risk is very big in the Pokemon hobby, and if you can learn to do that, you will do fairly well in here, and there's good opportunities. So jank bundles, definitely something that they do. Southern Hobby is the professional at that. I get emails all the time from them with jank bundles, here, buy this and get this type. Yeah, that's pretty much the way we roll. But yeah, while we're sitting here, any other questions while I'm kind of looking through ACD, just trying to make sure if I'm not missing something, because I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything, because it's possible, but usually they're really quick to send emails if they're getting restocks on stuff. So 151, let's see. Yeah, they got nothing in stock. ACD doesn't have anything in stock either. They have ultra premium collection boxes. That'd be funny. Oh no, they're sold out too. Charlotte went great. How's it going? Nostalgia? Yeah, we just were talking about it at the beginning, but a lot of fun. Got a chance to catch up with everybody that I haven't met in person, so that was awesome. Getting excited for Chicago for sure. Definitely going to be a lot of fun in Chicago. It'll be different. It's going to be really interesting to see a difference between Charlotte and Chicago. Way different from Denver back in 2018. So a big difference between then and now for sure, with the amount of people inside of it. So yeah, definitely exciting. A lot of fun. Got to meet some people. definitely had some fun looking at all the different options out there, having an talk with people and what how sales were going, how the market was feeling. So yeah, it was a lot of fun to do that. Oh, I see vending in Chicago, so see you there. Yep, I will be there in Chicago. I can't miss Chicago. It's 5 hours away from me. That's a day, or leave in the morning and get there by 10 a.m. So that's for sure going to be there in Chicago. So yeah, I'm excited for it. That's going to be kind of interesting. Like I said, might be a little bit different just because of the fact that it is a sports card town. It's home of the National Sports Card Association. So a lot of fun there. So there's a lot of opportunities to see a lot of different sports cards there. Charlotte was very much TCG driven from everything that I saw and where we went. There was some sports cards, but definitely not as many. So Chicago might be a big flip because that area is big on sports cards. The Bears. Yep, we're going to go to the home of the Bears. There, hey. But yeah, so it might be a lot more heavier. It's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if it's heavier towards the sports card side of things. I definitely could see it happen. I definitely see that being a potential in Chicago, which is okay. But I do know there's going to be a lot of individuals there vending as well. So I do know that there's a big list already of individuals going to Collecticon in Chicago. One thing I do got to go is I was going to see... I didn't buy a table. I was going to see if I can maybe snipe 2 feet off of someone's table while we're down in Collecticon, just because I don't have enough inventory to take down there, nor do I want to drive that much inventory to a Collecticon to sell that much. But I definitely have some things that I would like to sell. So I was going to see if maybe someone had a little extra space on a table. I could give them some rental fee on that and just snipe a little bit. So if anybody who's watching this has a little bit, I was going to put it on the Collecticon site too and see if anybody's willing to give up a little footage. I only need like 2 feet and I'd be happy. One glass thing full, or one glass cover or container would be good for me. That's how simple I am. But I don't want to buy a whole table just because, number one, I've never vended at Collecticon, so I really would like to get a taste for it before I got a whole table and brought a bunch of inventory. And number two, just to feel it out. It's be kind of interesting to see how that goes. But all right, guys, hard to believe it's already been an hour. I mean, crazy. Yep, the Bears. Let's see, am I missing anything? Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, it'd be really fun to see. Like I said, I'll catch you. I'll make sure I'll catch you. If anything, like I said at the beginning, I kind of try to avoid, if you're busy and stuff like that, I won't bother you during your stuff, especially if I'm not selling. But we'll definitely catch up in the evening for sure. Make sure we I catch up with everybody as much as I can, especially during the trading show and all that, trading night. So catch up with people there too, have talks, and that's when we kind of get caught up in between too at dinner and things like that as well. So I know I got to talk to Old Card Shop too. I know he kind of wanted to hang out as well. Yes, PokeChef. I was trying to get there over to why am I drawing a blank? Wow. I was trying to get over to the event afterwards, but my wife kind of put her foot down on that because we had to drive all the way up to Virginia after that, so she really didn't want to. Pokemon Wonders. I was going to go to Pokemon Wonders place, and yeah, my wife was not having it. So with the amount of time we had on the trip already, and the kids were already short and tired from the day before. So I do apologize. I was trying to get there. Happy wife, happy life. That's exactly it, PokeChef. That just some battles are just not worth having. I can tell you that right now. So yeah, like I said, greatly appreciated too. The meal was fantastic, PokeChef. I know I already said thank you, but absolutely superb. The dining was absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much for setting that up for us. Greatly appreciated on Saturday night to do that. But once again, greatly appreciated. That was an awesome night for us to sit down and talk and have some fun. Wish you could have been there. Was really hoping you would have been there, PokeChef, because hoping to meet you in person for sure. But well, like I said, I'm just kind of wrapping things up. If you guys got anything else you want to talk about, I'm more than open to, as we're kind of shutting her down at 10 o'clock here already. Like I said, hopefully you guys have had a fun week so far. It's just starting off, but once again, kind of fun. You'll be in Chicago. Great. I will make sure I find you in Chicago, PokeChef, for sure. So awesome. I'm glad to hear that you'll be in Chicago, Chef. So hopefully you'll actually be at the venues. That'd be fantastic to actually catch you. The other person that I was trying to figure out if they were there or not. I got to figure out the electronics on that. Sucks it freezes, but got to find out from Basic Trainer too. I was hoping to catch Basic Trainer, and I never did see him anywhere, and I didn't see any messages from him or anything. So he wasn't at the dinner, or I think he was at the Rusty's thing the day before, but he wasn't at the dinner or anything like that, or at Collecticon that I could find. So if he was there, he hid pretty well. So hopefully he's going to be at Chicago. I know that that's kind of his home turf, so I'm hoping that Basic will be there as well. Basic, if you're watching this, put in the chat if you're going to be at Chicago. I'd love to catch up with you as well. A couple people I missed. I know I'm going to catch him at Chicago because I know Old Card Shop is another one too. He said he's going to be at Chicago, so that's going to be... Sounds like that's going to be the next big grouping of a lot of the content creators and stuff, and the Pokemon crews that we talk to all the time is going to be at the Chicago. So that's going to be a lot of fun as well. So great opportunity to network with some people as well. I'm glad to see Nostalgia there as well. Cool to meet Alex in person. Chef, once again, Cold Card Shop, excited to see him as well. So be a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys have a good time. We got a little bit of a wait. Got a little bit of time. I know we got Atlanta and a couple other places in between there. But the road is getting closer and closer, and it's hard to believe we're already coming to the end of the year. We're almost in November, guys. So if you are not stocking up and you are in the Pokemon business, you should be stocking up for your November Black Friday and Christmas special stuff now, because there are some great buying opportunities right now for that stuff out there. So if you are looking at capitalizing on the market itself, right now is a great time to be buying product, and getting prepared for the end of the year. We're going to have a good push here at the end, and I think that there's going to be some great opportunities here in the end of the year for your Pokemon business, and definitely some great buying opportunities now to prepare for that. So definitely be looking for them. Some people are feeling the lull in the market for the summertime. They need to move. They need to push product through. They're selling really cheap to try and keep it moving. We're seeing a dip in some of the markets, and that's totally normal for this time of the year. And then we'll go into the fall here, and hopefully people will push up a little bit, and we'll be able to capitalize on some of that as well. So otherwise, guys, thank you everybody for joining me once again on Tuesday night. We will be here live every Tuesday as normal moving forward, except for if I go to Collecticon or something like that. But even that week, I should be back before the live. So even on that one, with it being in Chicago, it's not like it's a long trip. I'll be back that Sunday afternoon, so we'll be live here on Tuesday then. So overall, thank you guys for watching. Greatly appreciated. Chef, thank you so much for joining this evening. Glad to see you here in the live. Thank you, everybody. And yeah, maybe Nostalgianomics. I know he talked to Eli. Apparently it was in your stream. If you're still there, Alex, let me know if that was actually said in yours. Does Eli have one of his distributors actually knows of a reprint coming on 151? I don't have it from any of my distributors. I don't have any notification from ACD or Southern Hobby. I don't know if it's just a bundle deal where someone found some product and you got to buy, like he might have said Paradox Rift, and you got some 151 product. But let me know in the chat, or if you are still, if afterwards, put it down in the comments if you do watch this again. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. 10 o'clock, I'm going to go, once again, happy wife, happy life. So I'm going to go head upstairs, go spend some time with my wife before we go to work tomorrow. Other than that, thank you everybody for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button before you leave. It helps out a ton to hit that like button. It's greatly appreciated. And as always, we will see you for sure on Tuesday. I am working on another video on Friday, so I'm going to try and post a video on Friday for you guys just to keep things moving here on the channel and make everything go well. Other than that, we'll see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.